All right, guys. So next we're talking about community marketing, right? And this is like kind of emulates a little bit of like kind of goodwill currency in some sort of sense. But with that being said, like you guys already know about school, like us being on school, is a community, right? We not only just we talk about like the actual thing that we need to get to, which is going to be like making clothes, building a business and making money, but also too on Wednesdays we do the sip and chat and we just talk about stuff. Like it's good for when we go on live. When I go on live, and everybody's saying like, "Hey, good morning," like, "How's it going?" Like long time no see or a long time no talk, whatever the case may be. So it has a completely different feel when you're building a community rather than you building a fan base. Because a community, I feel as though, talks amongst each other, and a fan base looks up to one idol, you know? And I feel as though that you building a community is going to actually be really, really good and beneficial for yourself is because you're not only going to have a community, but that's when you get like a cult following type of sense, right? Like where they're like ready to eat, pray, love, and die for you, and die for the brand, is because you know they're a community. They talk amongst each other. The ties are strengthened not from the actual the head honcho, the head of the snake, but it's tied with inside the actual body, right? So that's what we're doing on school, and we're going to see this come out into full fledged once we release our project, our collection in 2025. If we're in 2025, hello. But in 2025, whatever time that is going to be in 2025, um, and we're gonna see how well we do on an online launch because this will be my first online launch, right? Solely online launch, right? I've also too sold in person, right? So building that community is strong. But now it's not just only just me knowing it from heart, but now I can talk to you guys about something that you guys all probably already know, which is name for fans, right? So let's think about Justin Bieber when that little sucker was 16 years old. What were they called? What were the people that followed? You know what I'm talking about. What were the people that followed Justin Bieber? Let's see if the live can say it. Believers. Were you a believer? I believe in believer. But back then they were called believers, right? I don't know if he named the fans, but the name found and it stuck, right? And there was many believers out there. It wasn't just fans; they were believers. They had a name for themselves. It was an actual community, and I can tell you, if you were a 11-year-old boy during that time and you made fun of Justin Bieber, you were getting hunt down by the believers. I can tell you that for with my sister being one of the believers, I can tell you for a strong fact, right? Um, so and it did and it worked wonders, right? It was not like when people were in line for his concert that they were just fans. They were a community. They were the believers, right? And it changed the absolute scope of the direction of where he was able to go with inside of his whole community and I mean his whole career. And I'm not saying that he wasn't like he just didn't have amazing art and he wasn't paired up with one of his first songs coming out with Art Usher. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that those things didn't help, but being able to have such a strong community fan base got to be called the believers, right? So what does that mean for you guys, right? Like how can you guys name your like the cuties or what's going on families or what's going on I don't know kitties or something like that whatever your names are, right? Bro gods or whatever it is, right? We're called the bro god game or whatever it is. Like that will then start having a strong identity with your brand. And why that is good for marketing is because you have people that are going to actually advocate for you. Is because they are a part of the community. They are a part of the actual brand itself because they are the brand. We are the X, right? we are Justin Bieber because we are the believers. We are the thing that actually drives the needle forward for this company, for this entity, for this model, for this, you know, personality. And I mean, I'm telling you, word of mouth is so strong because you see an advertisement for school.com/fashion, NIS University, and you might click it. But if you got referred by somebody to come into this community, you didn't even have to watch an advertisement and you didn't even question it. Oh, if you like it, because you have validity in my life, I'm absolutely going to just try to see if, Jiko Mutavi and his team is good enough, for my time and my effort, and I'll join NIS University and see if I like it, right? So that's why like community marketing is important, is because you're gonna have absolute strong advocates, and not only that, like if you guys know who AB is, you guys should know who AB is. She's one of the moderators, right? And we met during the live of probably the majority of you that probably watching this right now as this release, but who knows how the trajectory goes as we continue to go. But the first 300 people that are coming into this community, or majority of that, is from live. We had a viral live, 200,000 likes, $150 made, and then $20,000. I mean, 20,000 people like were in the live, and then 146 people joined that day, right? She became a moderator for the live, and she probably doesn't even know it, and it's not even something that I did purposefully. It just happened naturally. But she did so well in the live, like it was just so similar, like it was seamless, like she was doing all the proper things, and we're still talking about community marketing, so bear with me right now. I'm doing a story to drive it home. I don't have a name for her. Like she's not a part of like the this is. Like she's not a nothing. You know what I mean? I don't know what our names are, but like we're just members. We're just all in NIS University. But when you have somebody that is an actual true warrior for you in the beginning of your whole entire journey as you having a brand, how can you position it to make that person a part of the actual operation, right? And it not be with money or anything of that nature, because you're still trying to figure it out and you have no money to give. But I made her a moderator in school. I made her a moderator for the live just because. But it was so good that I was like, all right, I'm just gonna make you a moderator in school. And then she's been doing absolutely amazing. We've had a moderator in our school community for like 6 weeks before she got her own. And like she's done way more than them. So the reason why I say that is because when you get some true fans, quote unquote, supporters, how can you make them founding members? To make them not only feel like they're true supporters and they love what they do, love what you do, but what I'm trying to say is that now she's probably having an identity with NIS. Like I've seen her on other lives on, on TikTok when I'm like trying to scroll for a sound when I'm making a video. This is just me being complete raw with you guys. But I don't see her interacting with the live. But I'm a crude. Like I would be in the live of somebody else's live for 30 seconds, but I actually have something to do with my own business, so I would like to hop up there. I'm not really a user of TikTok. I just use TikTok, right? Um, but I feel as though that it's not the same. It's because I don't know why it is, but I feel as though that she has a lot more of pride when it comes to this than anybody else. It's because they were growing this thing from the ground up, and hopefully she sees where we are going to be able to go, right? And while we're talking about her, she's in the live right now, right over here. So hopefully she's feeling all warm and fuzzy. But what we want to get is, what we want to get, you want to get your first 1,000 true fans. You want to get your first 1,000 true fans. And when you get those 1,000 true fans, you treat them like royalty. Is because 1,000 people all can tell 10 people. And if they all tell 10 people, all of a sudden that 1,000 people, with all of those people telling 1,000 people, all of a sudden turns into 10,000 people. And then with that, with that all of a sudden turning into 10,000 people, and if those 10,000 people tell 10 people, all of a sudden that turns into 100,000 people. You guys get where I'm going with this? Right? And then let's just do it one more time. Those 10 people tell another 10 people, and then you're at 1,000,000. Prepare to be right. I'm telling you, gotta be prepared to be right. Because your first one can tell 10, and your first 10 can tell 10, and then your first 100 can tell 10, and then your first 1,000 can tell 10, and then and after your first 10,000 can tell 10, and your first 100,000 can tell 10. And girl, boy, y'all, there's 8 billion people in the world. We can keep on going with this. Name for fans. That's why you want to build a community, right? Is because people are going to have pride. Name for fans. 1,000 true fans. You know, 10 people can tell 10 people, and that's 10 people. Everybody knows 10 people. If you don't know 10 people, then there's no way, right? So with that being said, we went over school, and then we went over naming your fans, and then also to the first 1,000 true fans, right? And you guys want to treat them like royalties because the word of mouth can go so well. Have you guys ever seen a Five Guys commercial? I'll answer the question for you. No, you have not. It's because they don't use commercials; they use word of mouth, right? Do the right thing, say the truth, build your community up, and we'll see you guys next in the real meaty chunk, which is social media marketing. You think that you know it, but you don't. Do it.